Hi everyone, welcome to Baking with Mon. So today we've had someone ask me to make cannolis, and I've always loved making these. These are one of my favorite desserts to make. They're beautiful, they're crispy on the outside, beautifully golden, they're really light, and they're filled with a ricotta chocolate filling. So this is what I'm going to show you how to make. Hope you enjoy. So for our cannolis today, what we're going to do is we're going to do it in two parts. So first you make your dough, and then you make your ricotta filling. So for the dough, that's where I'm going to start off with today. We have 2 cups of plain flour. We have a tablespoon of sugar. I've got 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter. I've got half a cup of white wine. I use a dry wine. You can use a sweet one if you like. And I'm going to use an egg yolk. So to start off with, we're going to put our flour in a bowl, followed by our sugar. And just give that a mix together. And then I'm going to get our butter and I'm going to rub this into the flour as you would for things like scones, pastry, that sort of thing. And I'm going to rub that together just until it resembles fine breadcrumbs. This is my first requested recipe today. I'm really excited and I really hope you enjoy it. I love making cannolis. They're such a lovely light dessert. You have to fill them just before you eat them though. That's the only problem with them because the shells will go soggy. But you can always make up the shells and freeze them. That makes it a little bit easier if you're having it for a dinner party or something. Okay, so that's looking just how I want it. See, you can see just very fine, like breadcrumb consistency. Okay, so I'm going to make a little well in the center. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add in my wine, followed by my egg yolk. I'll reserve the egg white because I always tend to use up my leftovers. So I'll pop my egg yolk in there as well, and then I'm going to use my wooden spoon and I'm just going to stir that into a dough. Perfect. This dough is so simple to make. Okay, so I'll take that off of my wooden spoon for the minute. And then I'm just going to knead that by hand just a little bit into a ball. Perfect. And that's my dough. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to glad wrap this and I'm just going to set it aside. You don't need to pop it in the fridge or anything. Just set it aside and just leave it whilst we make the filling. Now I'm going to move on to do my filling. And for that we need a wooden spoon and a bowl. And I've got here about a cup of ricotta, and that's full fat ricotta. And then I've got about 2/3 of a cup of icing sugar sifted. I've got 1/4 of a cup of cream, which I've just whisked until about heavy peaks, like so that it's quite firm. And then I've got a teaspoon of cinnamon and 1/4 of a teaspoon of mixed spice. I've got a little bit of chocolate chips, probably about 1/4 of a cup chocolate chips. And I've got an egg for our egg wash for our pastry as well. So to start off with the filling, we want to put the ricotta cheese into the bowl and just mix that together. Break that up a little bit. Now if your ricotta cheese is, this one's quite firm, this was from the deli, but if your ricotta cheese is one of those ones that you buy in the packets, just make sure that you drain it quite well and pat it down with a paper towel. So you're going to mix that together just to break it up if it's quite firm. Perfect. So then I'm going to add in my icing sugar. Mix that together. This filling's beautiful. You can do all sorts of flavoured fillings. This one is a chocolate chip one, but you can do orange, you can do lemon. I'll give you the variations in the recipe. You literally just add, instead of adding the chocolate chips, you just add the zest and a little bit of the juice. So mix that together. And then I'm going to add in my spices. Mix that in. It's just looking like a thick paste at the moment. Once we add our cream, that will just lighten it all up. There we go. So I'm going to add in my cream. There we go. Mix that in. Just fold that in gently. Just lightens up the whole mixture. It's looking beautiful. And then add in the best part, which is our chocolate chips. Perfect. So that's looking beautiful. So that's ready to go into the fridge whilst we roll out our cannoli dough, and then we're going to fry them and we'll fill them with this beautiful filling. So to roll out our dough, just unwrap this. I've got some plain flour here, and I just want to sprinkle that onto my bench. This is quite a loose dough to work with, so you'll need a little bit of flour just so it doesn't stick. And then I have a non-stick rolling pin which I use. So you really want to make sure that the surface and the top of your dough is floured really well. So I've got about a 10 centimeter cutter there, just a round plain cutter. And then I've got these, which are cannoli tubes. You can buy these from pretty much any homeware store, you know, any kitchen store. Sometimes the supermarkets will sell them as well if you're lucky. And I've also got some egg wash here, and that's what we're going to use to seal them. So starting off, you just want to make sure it's all floured nicely. I roll and I turn a fair bit with these just because you don't want them to stick to the bench. And then flour your bench as you go so that there's no sticking. And you want to roll these out quite thin because they are going to puff up quite a bit. There we go. So that's perfect. About 3 mil thick is how you want it. And then I'm going to use my round cutter. I'm just going to cut out. I've only got 4 tubes today, so I'm going to cut out a few circles because I can glad wrap them and then continue to use them as we're frying. So once one tube cools down, I can just rewrap it with the pastry. Okay, so get rid of my excess. Now the good thing about this dough is you can just scrunch it up and reuse it. There we go. So set that aside, but we'll reuse that one later. So what we want to do, I'm going to grab our cannoli tube. Now just spread these out just a little bit. Wrap them around the tube just like that. And you sometimes you have to stretch them over a little bit. Just like that. And then you just want to egg wash just the outside, just to give it that beautiful golden shine when we fry it. So continue to do that and cover all your tubes. So now we're ready to fry our cannolis. And I've got sunflower oil here, that's about 180 degrees. And I'm just gonna stretch out the pastry just along the cannoli and just flare the ends just a little bit. That just helps the oil get underneath and just cooks it evenly. So I'm going to slide these in here just very gently. You'll see they just start to puff up. You can just roll them over. I'm just using this little wooden dowel. I just find it easier to take them out. You can just put it straight through the cannoli and lift it straight up. And just leave them in until it's light and golden. And then pop them on to paper towel just to let them drain. And that's it. They are so simple to make. Once they're cooked through, they're ready to fill. Now for my favourite part. I'm going to show you how to fill the cannolis. So I've just got our ricotta filling and I've popped it in a piping bag. I'm using a star tip. And this is the easy part. So they've cooled down completely. You can see they're beautiful, they're crispy, they're golden, they've puffed up. Now all you've got to do is just pipe the filling in, just straight through. And you want to do that with all of your cannolis. There you go. You don't even have to fill them from both sides. I tend to just squeeze until it hits the other side. I'll show you from this way. Just get the last little bit. And I'll do the other end on this one. Oops. Running out of filling. There we go. And that's your cannolis. So what I tend to do is I just arrange them all on a plate. Usually I do a big platter. Just arrange them like that. You can stack them and angle them how you like. And then to finish off, all I'm going to do is just dust with a little bit of icing sugar. And that's it. There's your cannolis. Hope you enjoy. Like, comment, subscribe, as again, I'd love to hear what you'd love to learn. This has been amazing. Someone suggested that they'd love to learn how to make cannolis, and here you go. So, hope to hear from you soon, guys. Bye.